Welcome everyone back to Gamer Life. My name is Rich and we're going to be back again with some NASCAR heat for you today. For the round of Texas, we've got 84 laps, 500,000 plus purse here, so this is going to be really good if we can get a good result here today. It is round 7, but before we get into it all properly, just once again thank you all for being here. It means an absolute great deal. And if there's anything that you want to see changed or improved upon or added to this series by the time you finish the video, please do hit me up on the Gamer Life Twitter or just leave your comments in the comments box. It would help a lot to push things forward, because I'm guessing you guys know a lot more about this sport at this point than I do. So yeah, now that's out of the way, let's get into the video properly. Now, like I said, it is round 7. We are at Texas today. Texas has been a good track for me in the past, so I'm kind of looking forward to this one. We have signed a new sponsor incentive contract, as you can see as well. I chose to go for the lesser one this time because that gives us 4 races to get inside the top 20. I'm hoping one of them will be today, and then I think we have 2 short tracks after that, which after the last one I have no confidence in at all, which means that we need then to get a top 20 at Talladega. So yeah, that was the thinking behind that. We're 9th at the moment in the championship, as you can see. It is the O'Reilly 500 today, so yeah, looking forward to this one. I really am looking forward to this one. Hopefully we can bounce back, because for those of you who didn't see the last one, it is up on the video, up on the channel now, sorry, along with all the other races as well and the team building, so you can always go back and check them. But yeah, it's probably worth doing that before watching the next parts of this one. But yeah, today and the last one, we had such good pace in the car. It was quite unbelievable, really, but I didn't make the most of it. We were running right at the very front. It looked like we had the pace to go ahead and win that race, which would have been absolutely unreal, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. If you want to know how it all went down at the end, once again it is up on the channel, and it's definitely just going and having a quick watch of that one as well. In the last one as well, as you can see, we've got employees and trained them. We're going to train them some more now though, just gradually getting everyone up to the maximum. As you can see, we don't have the money to do that straight away, so we'll just build them a bit at a time, and then the plan is, once their attributes are boosted all of the way up, before buying the chassis, I'm kind of thinking that I might improve the departments and then get in the short track chassis, because if we don't win a championship or nothing in this season, that's almost better for the series really, because we get to go again the next season in a much more improved state. So yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. We're still quite early, we've got a lot of races still to do. But you just saw that in the background, the car has just been done. We're working on 2 cars at once now, which is much better. That means hopefully as we go forward, we're always going to have a really good competitive car. But now all of that's out the way and we've done the car, there's not really that much else. We'll have a quick look at the standings before we go to the track. So here we are, this is what it looks like at the moment. We're just sitting there in 8th actually, so I don't know why it said 9th earlier. There's the results of the last race. We did come in P14 in the end. Still absolutely deflated by that result, by the way. There was so much more on the table there. We'll go all the way down so you can check out where your favourite drivers finished in that race. But yeah, just really disappointed with how that one finished, but it's not all negative, because on the positive side of that same coin, the fact that we could even challenge for a race win at a track where I typically don't go that well is really encouraging. And for this race also as well, because we've got a better car than we went to Homestead with, and I'm on a track where I feel a lot more confident than I would have been at Homestead as well. So even though it was a negative finish, I'm still not going to say why it was such a bad finish. That will obviously be clear by watching the last episode, but yeah, the encouraging sign is that there was real pace in the car and we were able to be that high up to challenge for the win. So taking that forwards today to Texas, where I do feel more confident, I think we can get a really good result here. I learned something different about my driving style as well at Homestead. I was much more patient, much more smooth with the inputs and this, that and the other, even on the control pad. So I'm starting, I feel like, to get used to it a little bit now. And with that in mind, I'm hoping we can have a really strong weekend. The weather looks absolutely glorious here as well. It looks like there's a little buzz around the place. It's quite full at the moment. Cars going out behind us while we're just standing there taking it all in at the minute. So yeah, I look confident. We've got a good car today. We're on a track that I usually do go pretty well at. Weather looks good, so positive vibes at the moment. And that being said, it is now time for us to head out and have our qualifying lap, build lap first obviously. Again, not expecting too much. We were, I will say, better at Miami, getting the tyres working so quickly, but we cannot just go off that race. We've got to go off the package that we've had all season, and one lap pace is just not our strength at the moment at all. And weirdly, even though I do typically set up with a kind of loose car, we couldn't get down to the apron there, and that meant that we are slingshot all the way out to the wall there. As admittedly I mess with the camera angle as well, I just like to give you guys a little something different to look at, especially on the build lap, which doesn't really matter. We had to get out the throttle there again so we didn't hit the wall, so the car feels kind of tight at the moment, which is a very weird feeling for a car that we run, especially at Texas. I don't normally get that vibe from the car or that feel from the car, but in any event, we crossed the line and we're in P31, which is about average for us really in qualifying. Means once again, we've got a lot to do in the race, but that is nothing new for us. We do have a good car for this event, so once it loosens itself up a bit, a few laps in, it's normally 9 or 10, isn't it, laps in, I feel like we'll have a really quick car here, because the overall ratings for the car today are in the 90s, where we've been running low to mid 80s at the moment. So really expecting something good here, guys. Really there's going to be a very interesting one. If we can get near to the front quickly, we're in with a real good shout today, I think. So who was it who took pole? It was Joey Logano, who's going to be leading us out for the race. And here we go then, as we wind ourselves up now to the green. The stories of the race is that Ryan Preece is well prepared this weekend. Obviously we know Logano's on pole, and Chase Elliott is going to be starting at the back of the pack, which promotes us one more place, but unfortunately that is gonna put us on the outside. I thought that it would, but in any event, I'm not too worried. Straight away here I was already gonna try and do like a thinking race and be more patient, like I mentioned we learnt from Miami, and I'll just get out the throttle from the beginning so we can slip behind Dylan and get that inside line back. I know that it's powerful around here because it's the one that I've always used, and like I said, I typically go well here. So even though we're dropping off just at the minute, as we come through now for the last turn on the first lap, you can see how quickly we've caught back up. I wasn't worried, and we're going to try and have a nice patient one. We've got more laps here than we had. I know the track probably that means is a bit shorter, but we've got more laps than we had at Homestead, so there is no need for us to just plough through the field and wreck the car. We're just going to take our time. There's a lot to unfold in this race probably as well. I don't think we've gone flag to flag without cautions and things like that. So yeah, the story of this race is nowhere near being told yet, only on the second lap. Coming through to the third now, we get a little push in the back there which shoots us up the inside of Reddick and Suarez potentially as well. We do manage to hold that underneath, and we carried way too much speed though into that first turn. And we gained a few places, but we might just lose one here as the 8 goes underneath us. Or it might go 3 wide. Can we get out of this before the corner? We do, just, but we're running that middle lane at the moment. I do want the apron lane back, but it's just not available at the minute, so we'll stick with the middle. We're going to have to go round the outside of the 8 and outside of the Benedetto as well. We tried to fit in between the two there briefly, but it was never going to happen. We slide up the track and we lose a few more spots now. But again, there is no rush. As long as we don't let the leaders get too far out, I don't think we're any fear of being lapped today either. So we're always going to be, hopefully, on the lead lap. And that means that even if they do stretch away, I suppose there's always the caution to bring things back. You know there's going to be one. We all know there's going to be one at some point. And we try again now with the Benedetto shuts the door on us, and as you can see there, earlier in the season I would have just sent that one, but I've not been as aggressive. We just get out the throttle and we'll catch him at a different point during the race. We could even follow him through for the bit if we need to. There's a nice spread there. We've got a car in the middle lane, the top lane and the apron, so just assessing it. We couldn't go anywhere, so we just settled down behind the Benedetto again. And we might now be able, no, he closes the door once again, so yeah, a little bit of a frustration at the moment, but it's way too early to start worrying and getting frustrated. And we cut on to the next lap now, and we finally get underneath the Benedetto. He couldn't hold his line this time, which left us the space. We took that space gratefully, and not only do we get past him now, it opened the door for us to get past a whole bunch of cars there. And we look like we may now, as we come off this last turn and go on towards lap 8, we do indeed have all the track we need. We've got a clear air now, we've got a looser car, so we just got to bang in the lap times, and if we catch them all one by one like this, I think it'll be a lot easier for us to get through the field. We're only just under 10% of the way through the race as well, so we're looking good here, guys. We are looking good here as we shoot around the outside there, but if you look at the back end of this car now, it's starting to act really strange, more than usual. It feels really like on the edge of loose. I think maybe I should have took a bit more pain, but in qualifying though, it's a really difficult one to figure out. Qualifying we felt too tight as we went round the corners, and that cost us a lot of time. But way more than normal now. This car feels right on the very limit. It wants to just keep oversteering, and then when you correct it, it wants to spin around altogether, and we are only on lap 9. So I've not really come across this before. I don't know why it's doing this. It is mainly when we're in someone's drafting area as well. So we might not. It might just be a case that when we're going through corners, we can't use draft air in this race. We're just going to have to do everything off our own pace and our own merit. That's the only thing that I can think of at the moment. But once again now, we're P16, lap 10, about to be lap 11, and we find ourselves in a little clear pocket of air. And we definitely needed that, but as you can see, we've skipped a few laps now. We have overtook a few cars, but I've got to say, at the moment now, it feels like we're ice skating more than racing. You see there, that little snap. Soon as we get behind someone, that's why I'm not really tucking in behind Jones properly. The car becomes so unbalanced, it's untrue, and I'm literally at this point just tiptoeing it around the track, looking for that pit stop to hurry up and come in so we can get some new boots on. And yeah, weirdly, I want the car back to how it was at the beginning of the race rather than how it is now, which is a complete flip on how things normally are for us. But again, we find some space now, and any bit of space that we can get is really good now, while the car's feeling like it is. I wouldn't mind if we just sat in P9 now, to be honest, all the way to the first pit stops. As you can see as well on the track map, I mentioned going well here last season. The car that I was driving last season is actually the car that's winning this race, so maybe that could be something to do with why I did have a good time here last time out as well. But yeah, whatever it is at the moment, our car does not feel like a nice car to drive, and I'm borderline struggling at the moment, guys, I'm not going to lie, just to keep the thing going straight. I'm putting in as minimal amount of inputs on the analog stick as I possibly can, but I do have to keep correcting because I do feel the oversteer coming, and then when I let off we slide straight up towards the wall. So there you can see a little mistake there as well. It's just not a nice car to drive at the moment. It is quick, but like I said, it is really on a knife edge, way more than it ever has been before. And even there, just pulling out of that air almost sent us straight onto the apron from pretty much the wall. So you can see what I'm talking about, guys. But yeah, we're P9 at the moment, so that's most definitely a positive. Like I said, we need 2 top 20s out of 4 races. This is one that I've targeted, and Talladega's the other one that I've targeted to get those results in. So we need to do the best we can here in terms of the championship, because I have absolutely no confidence at all going into those short tracks that we're going to be able to do anything there. So a potential 2 bad results in a row could really harm where we are in the championship, and we have to keep in mind as well, we don't have as we hit the wall there, this just is starting to show now the car is right on the absolute limit. Yeah, we can't have a bad result here then have a bad result at the first short track. I can't remember if it's Bristol or the one after that as well is also a short track. So we do have a super speedway car as well for Talladega, so hopefully we can get a good result there. But there's pressure to get one on this one at the minute, and it is not going to be plain sailing. We did not need him to shut the door on us like that at the moment. Jerk reactions on this car, I'm telling you right now, it will just go around. And as you can see there, I'm begging for the pit stops to come. And wouldn't you know it as well, there's been no caution when we could do with one this time. So yeah, it's tricky at the moment, guys, it really is. We are gaining on the lead car though, as you can see as well, so that is a positive. It's just the actual car itself does not feel nice at the moment. There's so much concentration that went into this race to just keep the car pointing forwards. We nearly clipped the wall there as well. We get away with it though, and Harvick's on the outside now. Please don't come down. He doesn't, but Haley does. And look at that, as soon as we come off, the car is fishtailing really badly. Yeah, at this point I was just thinking, do you know what, if, like I've been saying to you guys, if 6th place Harvick, who that is Winona, starts driving away, then so be it at the moment till we get into them pit stops. We just need to stay out of everyone's way, as again we nearly clipped the wall there. But we are inside Harvick now. We're inside Logano, who's down here in 5th now. Well, he's in 6th now after starting on pole. So I'm not too sure what's gone on there, but we are definitely gaining. But we do hit the wall again and then slam into the side of the Haas car there. Kozlowski now is in front of us. What a surprise there. We're going to go and meet our little track buddy again. He's in 4th actually as well, so that would be a position pass. He's just overtook Gase, and can we just send one to the inside now? No, I think better of it. It's probably not worth it with this car at the moment. Kozlowski can keep his 4th if he wants to, and look at that now, we got another massive tank slapper there. We hit the wall and it has all gone pear-shaped. We can't get off the grass, the car's so loose, and we end up in the pit lane. But obviously we didn't come in properly, so we can't use it. We're back down now to P10, but that just goes to show what I was talking about. This car is absolutely on the very edge at the moment, and look at the gap between us and the leader now. Yeah, we're just gonna have to reset, and again we've got damage on the car, which is gonna add another 8 or 9 seconds to our pit stop now as well. I've got to say I'm surprised a little bit that the caution didn't come out for what just happened, but it didn't, and we're in the wall again now. We got P10 Byron in front of us. He does actually move up the track, which helped us out an awful lot there, so we can just keep our line, continue on our way, and yeah, just try and recoup some of those places that we lost. Hamlin's now in front of the race, leading the race incidentally, so he's got past Bush in the monster car. Again, I've just realised going through now, there is a little bump on the outside lane as we go through that last turn, so we need to keep away from that as best that we can. And again, we've only got 4 laps of fuel now. We're just really begging that pit stop to come at this point. I didn't want to go before the fuel was absolutely on the limit and pull the trigger there, even though in hindsight it probably would have been the right thing to do. I wanted to come in when the leaders were, while we're on the lead lap, and that is a big one. I literally just cannot hold this car anymore. It is undrivable. We're doing donuts as though we've won the race in the pit lane. That is not me there trying to pit, that is, yeah, just trying to keep the car in a straight line. And we're all the way back down to P16 now, and we're almost in danger of getting lapped here at the moment now, as Bush has retook the lead, and he is just a couple of seconds probably behind us. So yeah, this has gone from good to really bad. I decided on this lap that, you know what, I am just gonna pull the trigger. We're gonna come in. The car is literally undrivable right now, so as you can see there, another smash as we're trying to enter the pit lane. As soon as I came off the throttle or even touched the brakes, the car just spun every single time. So if a caution comes out now, it comes out. We've got a lot of recovering to do, but the car was undrivable. There was no point trying to do any more laps on it. So yeah, we're coming in, guys. And we've just done our out lap, and we are currently in P32, but the car, I'm assuming it's the damage. I mean, they've repaired what they can, but still doesn't feel the same, and I can already tell the rest of this race now is going to be an absolute struggle for us. I don't know if we're 1 lap down, 2 laps down at this point, I'm really not sure. It is just a case now of foot to the floor and just make up as many places as we can. At least, at the very least, we need to get that top 20, because if we don't, there is real pressure now going into the next couple of races. We get a nice little push there from the 22. That does mean though that we had to get out the throttle a little bit to avoid the wall. And that's Logano there that's pushed us, and that means we're back a lap down to the top 5 at least, unless he dives it into the pits now, which he doesn't. So we go past the pit lane, and do we get any more positions there? We're now a lap down to the top 6 as Harvick goes past us. We're in P20 as we pass pit road again. There's a couple of more still on the apron at the moment as they're coming out. One of them is P19. So we're inside the top 20 now. We're where we need to be. Car still not feeling great at this point, but yeah, we're gonna just push on and see what we can do. And we do exactly that. We're all the way now to where a caution actually came out. There's only us by the looks of it that's come in for anything, but again, I just wanted the car to feel better, so I pushed on with it as much as I could. There was a lot of clear air because everyone had spread out, and I was just literally circling, and the only cars that I managed to pass were actually lapped cars. So still at this point, I'm not exactly sure where we are. We're just over halfway through this race now. And we actually look, because we've got those fresh tyres on as well, a lot quicker than everybody around us at the minute, which is good. But yeah, I decided at the moment I don't know where we are. My whole patience thing had to not go out the window, but I felt like why we had this tyre advantage, because it definitely feels like we do have one. That it was time to just put the hammer down now and try and at least get back. Cause I still think we're a lap down, at least. We need to get in front of everyone we can, just try and check out, go into full on sweat mode and see if we can get back onto the lead lap of this race. And then if we can do that, I mean, there's the aggression there. I actually loved that move, I'm not gonna lie. I saw the gap and I just had the confidence and went for it. The car felt really good at this point. I don't know if it's our car feeling good because we got fresh tyres on, like I said earlier, and everybody else doesn't, but whatever it was, it brought a lot of confidence back, and I felt like I could make a move like that. But now, for us to really rescue anything better than getting our goal in this race, we need to get in front of everybody right now, which is, as you can see, what I'm trying to do. And then really we have to pray for another caution. I mean, I pretty much think that is the only chance that we've got. It seems like when you watch the track map as well, obviously I wouldn't have noticed this in the race, but there's a good battle between Hamlin and Bush for the lead at the minute. That's one thing that I do wish that you could do, and maybe you can. It's something you guys again could help me with in the comments. I've looked at replay cameras and trying how to best use them to put into these videos, but I've not really figured it out yet. But I'm wondering if there's a way where you can watch the replay but switch the cars instead of just following your own. That's something that you could let me know if you know how to do that. But at the moment, as you can see, we're right behind Bush now. We can actually just about see him at the very front of that pack there. Maybe this is the point now where we've got good speed in the car. My confidence is coming back lap by lap, and if we can get in front of all these, we will be at least back on the lead lap. And there is a massive gap for us to go through here. We're going to try and use Logano just to pull us along, because there was a car outside and inside of us as well. We use him briefly and we do get underneath him as well. Kozlowski here is going well once again. He looks like, yeah, he's in P3 at the moment, and it does look like there's a good battle, like I said, going on between Hamlin and Bush for the win in this race at the minute. Hamlin's actually drafting Bush through this corner, and can we just tag on to the back of that maybe? We just wait for them there to slide up the track. We get on the back of Hamlin into his drafter, get underneath him there, and Bush is actually going to stay up. As you can see, we were quite tentative there going through there just in case he come and close the door. He didn't do that, thankfully. He stayed up high, which gave us all the track that we needed. We used it, and now I hope that we are now back on the lead lap. I'm not 100% sure on that, guys, at this point, but I believe that we are now. But the challenge now is to check out of this race and get back to the back of the pack again and try and do everything that we've just done. We've still got quite a few laps to go in this, so I don't think the story of the race is completely told yet. But all it's going to be now, like I said, is just full on sweat mode, press as hard as we can and see if we can check out away from these guys and try and catch them back up again. And that is exactly what we have managed to do. The car's starting to feel a little bit on the knife edge again at the moment, but as you can see, one thing that I didn't count on after that pace car, because I'm not used to it, normally it's a one-stop race, two at the most. But people are actually pitting now as well, and we have somehow found ourselves all the way back up in P8. It's not a true representation, because if they've pit, that means at some point we're gonna have to as well. But yeah, I wanted again to stretch as far as I could with the fuel, because although the car was on a knife edge, I felt like if we've got the lighter car at the moment fuel wise, than these guys now. We can just eke out, even if it's a few tenths, a lap, and then I hit the wall again heavily as well. And I can't remember what lap it was that I actually decided to pit. But we're in P5 as things stand at the moment, but again we can't really pay too much attention to that, why the pit stops are going on, as we're now P3, P2, and we're chasing the leader down here. He's not actually on track yet, so we could get P1 for the time being, and I can't honestly remember. I know you used to get a bonus point, was it, or something, for leading a lap in NASCAR. I don't know if that is still a thing or not. But because of that, I decided that we are going to stay out and try and cross the line and actually lead a lap at least before coming in. I don't know how many more laps after that I actually do, but I remember thinking, while there's still clear air in front of me, I want to stay out because the car's still... It's pretty stable in clear air. It's only when stuff like this happens and you have to make them quick reactions, it really unsettles the car. So yeah, I decided to stay out. We momentarily go 3 wide there, and look how close we get to the 22 there, and again it puts us in the wall. And there's still pit stops going on. Hamlin incidentally is now back in the lead of the race, so his team did well at pit road there, because Bush was leading before all of the pit stops started happening, I'm pretty sure. But we're using Logano to pull us along here now, and we decide that this... No, it's not this one. I told you I couldn't remember which one it was. I was almost certain that it was that one that I came in, but clearly it wasn't. So we carry on for another one, just enjoying being in P1 at the moment. We clearly must be now on the lead lap as well, so that has sorted that out for us. But whether we're going to be on the lead lap or not by the time we do pit and come back out again is a different question altogether. We slowed down now, but again I did attempt, I'm not going to lie, to come into pit road on that lap because I remember the car reacting like that. I literally just overshot the entrance and couldn't get the car down quick enough. And remembering my entrance to pit road earlier, I wasn't going to try and wrestle the car in while it's feeling the way it does again just at the moment. So we shoot one down the inside of Chastain now as we're coming around. And as you can see here already, I didn't risk it this time. We come down nice and early, don't want to spin, and we nearly do still before we get in the lane. But we're in the lane now, we'll see where we come back out. And the answer to that question is P16, which is... I'm not too sure how I feel about that at the moment, but considering that I have drove absolutely terribly today, we've been in the wall more times than we've been all season, more times than I've been in all the other disciplines getting to this point as well. Don't know what it was, maybe it's because of batch recording tiredness. Let's get the excuses in right now, not too sure. But all jokes aside, there's no excuse for the way that I've drove today. The car was really good coming into this. We have had a good car. It was a bit weird on the first run, but this set of tyres we're on now on the last one, the car's been absolutely fine. It's been more than quick enough. We've proved that as we unlapped ourselves, and then we did check out of the race like I wanted to until the caution come out. After the caution we were really quick as well. So yeah, we have had a really good car today. It's been no one's fault but my own that we're down here in P16. On the plus side of things though, we are completing that goal, which takes the pressure off the short tracks, which is something I was really conscious of today. But yeah, we got 10 laps left now. It's just pushing on all the way to the end and seeing what we can get out of this one now. And we skip all the way to lap 80. As you can see, we're in a bit of a group of cars there. We are in P14 now, and time is running out on this one last caution that I think that we needed. We are on the lead lap, but as you can see on the track map, Hamlin's actually not too far from lapping us. So I don't think there's much chance of going much further forward in this one without the caution coming out and sending us into that overtime. So yeah, maybe that wasn't meant to be today, but we shouldn't be in that position with the car that we've got. Like I said, I have to take this one on the chin. But as we're winding down these laps, again, I just want to reiterate about the Game of Life Twitter. Leave comments there, follow it, suggestions for improvements on the series. Myself, how we can make it more realistic. Are you happy with the format? Let me know that as well if you don't want to see anything change. Help me out with suggestions, setting up the car maybe for certain tracks, or what you think we should be doing next in moving the team forward, anything like that, anything at all that you want to let me know about. There's things that I've asked about in this episode and a few things in previous ones as well, that could help me out as well. And yeah, just anything at all. And as well as the Twitter, there is, like I said, also if you don't have Twitter or anything like that, there's the comments box. Just leave those same suggestions there, I suppose. We might be able to get one more position here. It looks like we're going to get it booked in fairly easily because we stopped later, so once again we're on the better tyres. I don't think we're going to get a caution now, guys, to be honest, as the car is just starting to loosen up, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue now. We've just got the one more lap left to do. It's a shame where we are today. It is still a good result in terms of everything, but with us being a new team and everything else, but I'll say again, we've had a car that should be further up the grid than this today, and it's no one's fault but my own. We're going to have to just take this one on the chin as we come around one last time to the start-finish line. We pass another car, but unfortunately it's not for position, so it's P13 today, guys. I'm a bit more relaxed about it now than I was at the time. I was absolutely raging with myself at the time, because like I say, we had a better car than that today. But that is gonna do it for this video. I didn't manage to get any more footage because I was that infuriated that I forgot to press record on the race endings. But in the next episode, we always recap what's happened in this one anyway, so we'll get to see the race finishes, positions there, what the championship now looks like there as well. Once again though, big thanks to everyone who's here and has watched this one, especially through to the end. Use the comments box, use the Twitter. If you've liked what you've seen, hit the like, hit the subscribe, that would help out tremendously. And I will see you all guys in the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.